Recovery appointments are for people who are affected by their own drug use or someone else's drug use, whether that be past or in the present.
Recovery appointments look different from counselling appointments because they're just half an hour and they're quite structured and focused. And we use tools from cognitive behavioural therapy and rational emotive behavioural therapy, which look at thoughts, feelings and behaviours. What these tools do is help you to be aware of what you're thinking, and then we can calm down some of the emotions and start to make different choices in behaviours.
Recovery appointments are 30 minutes long and they're for 6 sessions over 6 weeks. And when you refer, you can refer for recovery appointments and you may decide to have counselling also. So the counselling would follow your 6 guaranteed recovery appointments.
The work that we do in recovery appointments can help you manage day-to-day things. So we have a number of topics that you can pick from. These are things like managing anxiety and other troubling feelings, or emerging from the wilderness, when the addictive behaviour is stopped. What do you do then? How do you rebuild your life? What do you put back in it? Or things like coping with urges and cravings, again once the drug use has stopped, or other addictive behaviours. How do you deal with the thoughts and the feelings of wanting to go back to that behaviour? We have strategies and tools for that.
Common tools that we use in the recovery appointments is a tool called the cost-benefit analysis, and it's about the pros and cons of using drugs or alcohol and other substances, and the benefits of that and the costs of that. So it's weighing it all up like scales. So you look at the benefits, because why else would they do it? So you look at what it does for the person. Now when you do that, most of the benefits are short term. It's a thing we call instant gratification. So for example, somebody might say, I use because it gives me confidence. It also gives me an escapism from kind of the pain in my life. So once we do all them, they're pretty much always short term. So we then go into the costs of using. Now the costs of using could be financial reasons, your mental health, physical health, relationships. And basically a lot of the costs of using or doing are long-term effects, and quite a lot of the time the costs of it outweigh the benefits of it. And if people are coming here for appointments, it's because they're wanting to make a change. And by breaking it down, it helps the person see, actually, although I maybe get this from using, these are the things, that the costs, they become more self-aware and they're able to promote self-care.
Another tool that we might use in the recovery appointments is something called disputing irrational beliefs. And if you're familiar with Smart Recovery, you may also know this tool. So we'll take a belief. So for example, if someone's feeling very anxious about how they're going to cope going to a family gathering, say, so they might be really worried about using drugs, and we'll explore that with them. And so the thought might be, if I go and I don't take a drink, then I'm going to let everybody down, or they'll think I'm not joining in the family gathering. So we'll take that thought, if I don't use, I'm going to let everybody down, and we'll look at, well, who does it really let down? Or would your family really think that? How true is this? What evidence is there for it? So we'll take a thought, we'll break it down, and we'll help somebody to see the situation with a bit of a different perspective and a more helpful belief for them to achieve the goals that they want to achieve.
So if somebody would like to refer for recovery appointments, you just phone us here at Simpson House, and the number is 0131 225 6028.